Blog Talk Radio. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Today we'll be chatting with alt-pop artist Natasha Jane Julian. I would call her Natasha. California native Natasha Jane Julian is an alt-pop singer-songwriter blending elements of pop, rock, soul, and trip-hop. Never heard of trip-hop. That's interesting. Her sound is emotional and vulnerable, exposing the holes in humanity and even pushing boundaries in such topics as religion, value in a beautiful and sometimes haunting way. Her music can be described as smooth and melodic with a refined sensibility to its thoughtful lyrics. She's carved out her own space where moody and melodic meet with hope and inspiration as her musical focus. Let's welcome Natasha Jane Julian.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, thank God it's Friday.
I know. Oh my God, I've been so busy. It's been crazy. Are you in now? Are you in LA now?
I am, yes.
So how's the weather over there?
It's amazing compared to the rest of the country right now. I know it's had a huge storms everywhere and cold weather spells, and it's a little chilly here, but gosh, and it's sunny, so I have nothing to complain about.
I know, over here it's icy and ugly. That's what I'm
sorry.
Icy and ugly. I don't like snow. I don't like shoveling it. It's not that it's like a foot of snow, but it's just icy and very, very slippery. So you are very lucky where you are. I love LA. So let's learn about you. Tell us about your childhood. Where were you raised?
I was born and raised in a small town that usually no one's ever heard of. It's in Southern California. It's called Idlewild, and it's about 2 hours from LA, and it's up in the mountains. Basically, on a different mountain range than Big Bear. Everyone usually knows where Big Bear is. So it's like an opposite mountain range than Big Bear, but it's very, very small. So they don't even have any stoplights up there.
Oh, wow. What's the population? Do you know?
It's probably a little bit more now, but when I was growing up, it was 2,000.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty small. I mean, everybody should know everybody around there. Might get no stoplights. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's adorable. It's a really special mountain community, and they have so much hiking and outdoor stuff up there. It's just, I think after I was about to graduate high school, I was looking for, more. So that's why I left.
All righty. And you are the middle of 5 children. How is that like growing up?
I mean, there's good and bad. I mean, my mom was, my parents divorced when I was like 7 or 8.
Right.
So she was raising all 5 of us on her own, and that got a little crazy at times. And now I have so much, appreciation for what she did. At the time, I was like any other kid, and I'm like, why don't I have, the best shoe, and why don't I have this? And now I'm like, gosh, I'm so sorry I gave you such a hard time. I had no idea, looking back at it now, like, wow, that's hard work. I have 2 children of my own, and I can't even imagine doing it on my own with 5 children. So, but it's great now because I have, friends. My sisters are my best friends, and my little brothers also are. I wouldn't say I was as close to them as my sisters, but I love them. So
That's awesome. It's nice to be close to your family members. You always hear some dynamics where like, I can't stand that family member, but I love to hear the stories where people can relate to one another and they're close, and it's just an amazing thing.
it really is, because you don't see it when you're young, because we fought like, cats and dogs, and, I was looking back, I was like, gosh, we were so mean to each other. I can't believe now that we are so nice to each other. But yeah. And now I look at my daughters, and my daughters fight the same way, and and I was like, gosh, I can't even imagine you guys being close, but I really hope it happens.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, my sister and I are about 9 years apart, and we're like night and day. And I mean, we're very different. And we still argue from time to time, but I would say that we're close. We're very close. When did you start writing? Yeah, no, it's very nice. When did you start writing songs?
I actually, I would say I started writing songs about 10 years ago. I wasn't one who was, writing songs when I was 5 years old. I always, was really moved and touched by music, and I really loved performing when I was young. And I started to have the itch to want to write songs when I was in my teens, but it didn't really come to me until much years later. And I think for me in particular, that as soon as I started really living and getting outside of my hometown and seeing the world and traveling, that's when all these ideas, new ideas, and also maybe things that I had held in for a long time and was really thinking about, but I didn't know how to let it go and let it flow. That's when things really started to come out of me, and all of a sudden I didn't have to think about how do I write a song. It just kind of started coming out when it was ready to come out. So
I get that. How would you describe your music?
I would definitely describe my music as smooth and very melodic. I know I get that a lot from people. They'll message me and they're like, wow, your music is so melodic. I like to, I'm not, let's say the opposite of, it's kind of weird because pop music today, it's, it's so all over the place. So it's in the pop realm, but it's really not, because it's not what you hear from Ariana Grande, and it's almost like old school, where I had a lot of influence from the Beatles and from artists like Carole King and Linda Ronstadt, and and even rock bands like the Eagles. So it is in the pop realm, but it's got, you can tell that it has a lot of older influence to it, and that's where, let's say, almost like the basics, the pop and the basics of rock and roll kind of mix and combine. So
I like that. Where do you get your inspiration for writing and creating?
For writing and creating, it comes out, different. I'm usually, I have to write things right down, in the spare of the moment. If I'm out and I've got this melody and this chorus, right in my head, I'll make sure I go get my phone and get my voice memo out and put down whatever it is right away, because I won't remember later. So sometimes ideas come to me like that, but a lot of times I'll be listening to another song, and it will just, something will come to me as I'm listening to the song, or I'll really enjoy the mood of that song, and I'm like, gosh, this is so great, and it makes me feel like that, and I would love to, get this type of mood into a song. And then if I go and try and you say, okay, I want to get this mood into a song, and you almost try and copy that, then something completely different comes out. And I love that, because you're going in and saying, yes, I want this sound, and then you come out with something totally different. So I love that even when you try and get the same thing, it's never the same thing.
No, I agree with you. I love that. I know for myself, the greatest place for me to get inspiration, like creatively and to figure out songs and melody is in the shower. And so I'm trying to come up with a gadget that's like waterproof that you can just put in the shower. You can hit the button. Because once I get out of the shower, I forget everything. I'm like, what did I say there? Oh my God, that was so great, but now it's gone. What are the craziest places for you to like think of music?
That's a good question. It's almost always by myself. So I'm the type of person that, because of I would say my upbringing and always being surrounded by people and a lot of commotion, a lot of chaos, really. I mean, there was never a dull moment. That it took me a long time and I didn't like it at first. To be by myself and to learn to be by myself. So I can remember being about 18 and I was in a relationship. Actually, I've been in a relationship since I was 18. And I remember the first couple of trips that he took, and I was by myself, and I was like, God, I hate this. I hate being alone. And then, it started to happen more and more and more. And then I started to kind of get used to it. But then I started to really crave it. And it was every time that I was alone that all the commotion and noise was gone. That's when I started to really, like, think about things deep. And song ideas always came. And I feel like the noise has to be gone. And I have to be alone with myself, not worried about judgments or trying to cater to anybody else's needs, and just look inwards. And that's always when it happens. So
that's awesome. I know that I try to dig deep. Like a lot of my songs, 99.9% of my songs are all about me and my experiences, but I also take away from what I see around the world as well. What about your music is rebellious, unconventional, or unusual?
I've got a bit of an alter ego, and sometimes people, even my family members or people that really know me, they're like, oh, this is really strange because it's got a lot of darkness to it and moodiness, and it really doesn't match who you are, because you're such a like happy, smiley, outgoing person. And I love that in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's really okay. I might go through my daily life, I laugh a lot, smile a lot, and that is really who I am. But at the same time, there's a lot of me that, it doesn't really get to come out a lot, And I love that the fact that those songs are really digging deep, say what is really going on in there. And it's my alter ego, and it's also how I see myself performing. And when I perform, I like become a different person sometimes. And I love that's where the art really takes, shape, and it really just, it all comes out. And I love the fact that I'm almost like a chameleon. I can be, different people or different, parts of me, and it can feel comfortable as well.
Oh, I love that, because I'm the same way, where when I get on stage, I'm a totally different person. I mean, I'm the same person, but, and I'm not an introvert, but the extrovert becomes the extrovert, and I'm all over the stage, and because I just love performing. I enjoy it.
That is so cool.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, because you just, it's like your body just, something just takes over your body, and you're just like this, you're here, and you're ready to give out to the world some kind of love, some music for them to enjoy. And it's just a different feeling. And I think only people that perform can understand that feeling of being on stage or being in a setting where you're about to perform. And the people that are coming to see you perform are really looking forward to your performance.
You're so right. And you really nailed it there. It's like something just, takes over. And it's perfect. It's really perfectly said. You can, just let it all out. And you're there to entertain people, but it's also just, it comes naturally, it just comes out. So
exactly. Now, tee us up. So you gave us the song Brother, Brother. So tell us what that's about.
Brother, Brother is a really personal song, actually. And that one came to me actually really quick, and it's probably one of the quickest songs that, from the time writing it to getting it produced and recorded and released and everything, probably happened the fastest. And that was really something that was on my mind. Not my youngest brother, but one of my younger brothers, but not the youngest of the family, has been dealing with some addiction for many years now. And it's a touchy subject.
Right.
I won't get too deep into there, but it's also how you love and how you try and help that person throughout their time going through that. And it's just really about I'm never giving up, even though they might think they're fine, or they might say things to you like, don't worry, I'm being watched out. The angels are watching over me, because he's also very religious. But at the same time, I can't just, leave that how it is and just be like, okay, you said you're fine, you're being taken care of, but no, I'm not going to just, sit here and watch you and let go. So that's what it's about.
All right. Well, we're going to have a word from our sponsor, and then we'll play the song. Hold on one second.
Hi, this is Nikki Chris, and I host a podcast called Mixin' It. Mixin' It focuses on women in the music, entertainment, and the performing arts. Our goal is to provide an avenue for industry veterans and up-and-coming artists, musicians, engineers, and producers to showcase their talent. Listen to Mixin' It on Monday Music Madness at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Sim Radio Network.
All right, here we go.
Sweet boy of senses are lying. Take a breath and you might feel. Never fear the pain, you're all alone. Worship the poor.
That was beautiful. Beautiful. You know, one of the things I love about music is like, even if a person doesn't want to hear it, you can always tell them you love them through music and that you're always there for them.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that's one of the most, I would say, holds a really, dear spot in my heart, that song. And actually, some songs that you release, you go back and you're sick of listening to them after you just recorded them because you just heard it so much. That's one of the ones that I'm not sick of.
I totally get it. There's some of my songs I'm like, oh, whew, and listen to that one again. There's like a couple. Oh my God, I could listen to this all day long. And it's okay to love your own music because whatever you put out, you should love it. You know what I mean? You can't. Oh, I hate this song. Why do they keep playing it? You still gotta love your music.
That's so true. Plus, you go through different, maybe 10 years ago or 5 years ago, whatever I was writing, maybe is not as good as what I'm writing now. But at the same time, that was the best at the time that I could do. So, yeah, you got to learn to love the stage and, where you are in life. So
awesome. So do you play any instruments?
I do. I play piano. I play a little bit of guitar, but I wouldn't say that I play guitar because I'm not very good. But I hope to strengthen my skills in the future.
I tried guitar, and let me tell you, I felt like a contortionist. When they're telling you to burn your hand here, your arm here, I was like, I took a couple lessons, and I was like, I don't know if this is for me. And then I bought a smart keyboard where you can learn how to play by attaching your iPad to it, which I've had the thing in a box for like 3 or 4 years. I'm really bad about those things. But this year, I'm like, this year is the year for me to learn. And I definitely, yes, this is it. I want to learn how to play the keyboard or whatever. I think, we use our vocals are our instruments, but I think it's always good to have an actual instrument that you can play as part of your persona.
Yeah, I mean, I did it for a while. I actually didn't grow up playing an instrument, so I learned as an adult, and it was really hard for the first few years, but it's really helped me with my songwriting, and that's the number one reason why I play right now. In the future, when I perform, I usually actually have a full band, but in the future, it would be nice to just get up there solo with the piano. That must also have a very special feeling as well.
I love that. So, okay, I'm following you. I'm gonna be like you. I'm gonna play something. I'm gonna do it.
You should, yeah.
What do you enjoy most about being an artist?
I would say that my number one love is performing.
Okay.
And I know you like performing too. Yeah, it's where, maybe now, when I start performing, it's really cool because I'm like, wow, I'm performing the song that I started writing, 2 years ago. That was nothing. It was just like a blob of a song. And now I'm performing that on stage, and I got these guys behind me, super talented musicians playing my song. So that's really cool. I just really love performing, and this is where I get to, show my colors. And what else, but lately I really like songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with songwriting is where I get to finally communicate. So I've never been a really good, I would say, speaker. I would be a terrible lawyer. I'm not, like, during arguments, I can never get my point across, and I know what I'm thinking, but I just don't know how to say it. And then afterwards, I always think of the best thing. I'm like, oh, I should have said that. But with songs and music, which is probably why it gives me such a fulfillment, is I finally get to say what I really wanted to say, and I finally get to get it down, and then it sounds so perfect and what I was thinking, but I just couldn't think of that in the moment. So it's really like a therapy for me, and yeah, I just really love that. Recording, I've learned, to start to love, as well, but that was probably where I was the weakest at first because I just had the least amount of experience with that, but it's coming along. So
awesome. So during the pandemic, this crazy pandemic, what have you been doing to perform? Have you been doing any live streaming?
I actually haven't been doing any live streaming. Well, no, I did a couple of times, but it wasn't an actual. I kind of was just playing around in the room with,
Right.
a song or two, and then I put the live on, but I didn't have an actual show. But having said that, we had a live stream scheduled for right around Christmas, and it got postponed because, the pandemic got really messy around there.
Right.
And it didn't really seem safe, and my players didn't really want to, do it then. So we are going to, the date is to be determined, but I'm going to post that soon, but we are going to be doing a live stream show with the whole band in a couple of weeks.
Oh, cool. I'll have to catch that.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be really fun. We've got a great space that we use with a stage and lights, and it's going to be a full set.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've used. I hooked up with the B Squared Management, and they got me all these live streaming gigs. Live streaming is really interesting because sometimes you'll have people, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you're just singing to yourself. But it allows you to keep, your vocal training, exercise, and it keeps you engaged with your fans, your audience, your family members, and stuff like that. So I'm actually very grateful for the live streaming, and I can't wait to see what happens when, once the pandemic is out there. Things are just going to be crazy. People are just going to want to go to every venue. So that I think that's the part that's going to be really great for musicians and artists and stuff like that. That people are going to so want to be out there and listening to music. We actually probably will make money.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, I didn't actually think about that, but people are going to be ready to go out, and it's going to be great.
Exactly. Now, the other song I have is WCG. Can you tell me about that?
Well, actually, WCG is short for West Coast Girl. So,
right.
West Coast Girl is one of my most fun songs, and I wrote it right when I had returned back from Europe. I was living in the south of France in Aix-en-Provence for 3 years, and I came back to LA, and I was ready to come back home, just to California in general, and I just felt like for a moment that, hey, I'm back home. This is where I come from. I'm a total California girl. I mean, I've been traveling around the world, and living in the cold and living all over the place. But this is really at heart who I am. I grew up in Idyllwild, but I was at the beach like every weekend, and this is who I am. So I would say the chorus came to me right away, and I had about 80% of the song done, and then I collaborated with Maya Marie. She's one of the writers that writes for Britney Spears a lot.
Oh wow, okay.
We did everything remotely, of course, but she's like, I like this. It's kind of got like a, like a Lana Del Rey kind of dreamy feel to it, and that's exactly what it is. It's very dreamy, it's very fun, but it's very still is true to who I am, and more of that mellow, smooth style. So.
Awesome. Well, we're going to have a word from our sponsors, and then we're going to play the song. Hold on one second.
Hi, it's Jordan and Madison, and we're Jay Madison out of Nashville, Tennessee. We'd love to tell you about B Squared Management, artist services by artists for artists. Get your press, branding, single release, and sync success plan now at bsquaredmgmt.com. And listen up to our latest single, Down, now on Spotify.
I'm a dreamer, wanna feel the magic inside. I'm a dancer, wanna feel the heat come alive. I'm a dreamer, baby, light my fire. I come from California, West Coast girl, where we be getting more than we deserve. Don't judge my cut-off, 'cause I ain't that guy. I'm designed like a West Coast girl. I must admit I miss my West Coast days, always running the show. I'm kinda proud of all my backaways, like Marilyn Monroe. I'm a dreamer, wanna feel the magic inside. I'm a dancer, wanna feel the heat come alive. I'm a dreamer, baby, light my fire. 'Cause I come from California, West Coast girl, where we be getting all the we deserve. Don't touch my cutoff, 'cause I ain't that kind. I'm designed like a West Coast girl. I must admit I like the long hair boy, surfs and waves like they should. Yeah, I kinda miss all of the West Coast boys. They know how to make a girl feel good. I'm a dreamer, wanna feel the magic inside. I'm a dancer, wanna feel the heat come alive. I'm a dreamer, baby, light my fire. I come from California, West Coast girl, where we be getting all that we deserve. Don't judge my cutoff, 'cause I ain't that guy. I'm designed like a West Coast girl. Summer days in the sun never did bother me. I'm taking trips to Mexico. So come on, baby, let's back out and love, you see. And we can go. I'm a dreamer, wanna feel the magic inside. I'm a dancer, wanna feel the heat come alive. I'm a dreamer, baby, light my fire. 'Cause I come from California, West Coast girl, where we be getting more than we deserve. Don't judge my cutoff, 'cause I ain't that guy. I'm designed like a West Coast girl, like a West Coast girl.
Awesome. I can see where your sound is very smooth, because yours is very smooth. Very smooth. It's very smooth and very haunting. I definitely see it. You have your brand right there.
I did think, I think after hearing that enough times, you're like, I know I didn't come up with that myself. I've just heard it so many times. People are like, your sound is really smooth. I'm like, yes, I'm smooth.
Yes, you are. That's for sure. So where did you spend 3 years living abroad?
I was in the south of France, so it's called Aix-en-Provence, and it's where like the lavender fields grow in France, and where they are excellent at rosé wine. And it's about an hour from the coast, yet it was in the mountains.
Okay.
And they have a great university there, and a really, really cute town center with cobblestone roads, and but a great nightlife as well. So.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I love traveling. That's one of the things that I miss about this whole pandemic thing. I did go to Nashville, Tennessee last year during the pandemic, but around November I usually go away for my birthday. And last year, where did I go? Lord, I can't even remember. Oh, last year I went to I couldn't remember Cancun. I went to Mexico. So that's one of the things I can't wait is just go somewhere and relax and enjoy myself. Where it's warm.
I am there with you.
Woo,
yes.
My friend and I are trying to see what. Hopefully, we're all vaccinated and we can do something. This November, hell, we'll see how everything goes. What projects are you working on now?
I'm actually about to start a new collaboration with. She's a producer, artist, a songwriter out of Nashville. Actually, her name is Justine Blazer.
Yes,
and,
I know her.
Oh, you know her, yeah. So we just wrote a song together just this week, actually, or last week, and we're happy with it. So she's gonna produce it for me, and so yeah, that's the next project. Well, I would say small project.
Right.
And apart from that, I have pretty much been writing like crazy over the pandemic. So it is a goal of mine to write and release a full-length album because it's one of the only things that I haven't done. And so that is a project of mine. I really hope that I can accomplish that this year. So that is also in the works.
Just all over the place. I know so many people that are writing with her. She's awesome. She's amazing. She's Superwoman at this point.
Yes, I agree.
Oh my
and
God.
she's really fast. And for me, it was a good experience because I've written with a few people, but it's been remotely. But most of the time, I write by myself because I'm able to kind of like get everything that I am thinking out. But she is very fast. And I'm just yeah, she was really great to work with. She's super fast, and she's like, okay, done.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. If you were talking to a younger version of you, what advice would you give yourself?
Oh, so much. It's not going to be. Nothing is ever going to be what you expected. I was thinking when I was younger, it's going to happen like this, and there's like only one way for it to happen, and it's not at all like that. And the journey really can go so many different ways, and it's not really about what the end result may be that you wanted, but it might actually be much more because it might be more fulfilling for you. So just relax and know that every day, as long as you're focused and working towards your goals, that it's that journey that is going to take you somewhere, and it might not be the same place, but yeah, it's going to be much more fulfilling than I ever imagined. So.
Yeah, no. So so this is a social media question because I ask all the artists this because I know, that social media marketing stuff, it just takes a lot out of you, and you have to post 20 million times a day, and you have to make sure you're on all the time. I mean, it can drive you crazy. So how do you organize yourself with social media? How many times do you post a day?
I'm not very organized at all. I have my moments. Sometimes I'm working with a social media company. There's one that I really, really love called Social Light LLC, and they've been working off and on with them for like a year now. When they're on, they are very good about scheduling and making a beautiful, map my pictures and everything, and they do that for me. It kind of takes the hard work out for me, because I can get that done and send it to them, and they can just be on top of the post and stuff. But sometimes I feel a little bit disconnected with my fans and stuff. So this last time I said, you know what, why don't I just, do it myself for a little while, and I still have, the pictures and the photo shoots, and I just feel like if I post in the moment that I'm feeling something, sometimes I'm feeling something very, inspirational, sometimes I'm feeling sad, whatever it may be, I post in the moment that I'm feeling that, and then I feel very connected. So I guess it goes back and forth, but then sometimes if I do it that way, I might forget for like 5 days. So, there's I guess you just kind of have to play it by ear, but there's a balance to everything, and you just kind of have to do it the way you feel the best doing it. So I don't think there's any right and wrong, and yes, you might not be on top of it all the time, but your fans will wait, and if they love you, they'll wait for your next post.
Exactly. But I like the way that you do it. You go on social media when you feel like you have something to say. I love that, because it's more natural that way. And I'm all about the natural.
Yes, and it might be at the wrong times. They have certain times that the highest engagement, and sometimes I post at the worst time ever, but it's okay. That's how I was feeling at that moment, and I wanted to post.
I love that. You're taking control of it. You're like, screw the ways that people are doing it. I'm going to do it my own way, which makes you very...
I'm sure there's a better way.
How do you deal with writer's block if you ever get it?
Oh, gosh, that's a good question. I never really had writer's block. I had it maybe just recently for the first time ever, because before that I just had so much overflowing stuff that I couldn't get the songs written fast enough for what was coming out. But just recently I kind of experienced a little bit of it, and I just find that if you sit down to do the writing, even though you feel like you have nothing to write about, and you maybe listen to some stuff or just start playing some chords, that something will come out of it, you know what I mean? Even if it's not good, and then maybe the next day you'll be making some changes on that. I would say that just to sit down and do it anyways, even if you can't think of anything, that something will come out.
I think that's awesome. Tell our audience where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Natasha Jane J. And you can find me on Facebook and SoundCloud at Natasha Jane Julian. My full name, as well as YouTube also is Natasha Jane Julian. I had a huge problem with my Facebook page the last week. I'm still in the midst of fixing it. I had a hacker in my account, and they were posting all sorts of crazy, weird stuff. And I've been on the phone with Facebook for every day trying to fix this problem. And I have some accesses back to the page, but not, completely. And I have other people still managing my page that I don't know about in the Philippines and South Korea. So if you see something weird on my page that doesn't match what I usually do, then just know that it should be fixed soon.
Thank you so much, Natasha Jane Julian, for being on our show. I can't wait to chat with you on Instagram Live next week sometime. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
Thank you for honoring us with your music, your soul, your presence. I loved everything I heard. I can't wait to chat more. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. That was super fun. And yes, next week with the Instagram Live, it should be fun.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you. This was Chatting with Nat. We were chatting with Natasha Jane Julian. Until next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. we host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard.
Love your